So
maybe Daivari, but I had no idea Scotty 2 Hotty would have still been around.
Yeah.
And he's on a pay-per-view, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you had to get hey, you got to get all the cruiserweights in there somehow, right?
Yeah, so let's start out with these two. Daivari would be the first eliminated here. He'd be eliminated after the worm.
I don't understand how anyone can't kick out of that.
This is not one of the best, and it wasn't one of the better worms either. I mean, not that it's a great move to begin with, but it was over.
Yeah, it's still over.
Especially back in the day.
Yeah.
The next we'd see Gregory Helms, the current Cruiserweight champion.
May I mind you, he's held on to it for over a year now.
Yeah, they'd say he was enjoying a 385-day title reign.
Yes.
The longest in history.
Yep. Never be broken.
And then of course, he'd eliminate Sky Too Hotty. He'd be the second eliminated. The next we had Funaki, who would he'd come in at number 4, and he'd be eliminated by Gregory Helms. And we did number 5, which is Shannon Moore. He'd also be eliminated by Gregory Helms. So Gregory Helms at this point has 4 eliminations.
Oh, yeah. Because
Scotty, Funaki, Shannon. Oh, wait. No, you'd have 3. Sorry. My bad.
That's all right.
The next we have... oh, wait, no.
No, wait. I think it's 3.
Yeah, I think it's 3. Oh, yeah. No, it is 3. I made a mistake in the notes. That's why. But getting back, sorry. Apologize. Then we'd have Jimmy Wang Yang enter at number 6, and he would be the one to eliminate Gregory Helms, which this would put an end to his long 385-day run as a Cruiserweight champ.
Right.
And to the shock of especially JBL.
Yeah, he was not happy.
And then after that, Jamie Noble would enter at number 7, and Jimmy would eliminate him from the match, and it would appear briefly that he had won the Cruiserweight title, but not so fast, because we would have the final entrant here, which would be Chavo Guerrero.
They were saying that it's under open invitational rules, so basically, even when after everyone's over, before the bell rings, that's over, you could just walk on down.
I guess so. Yeah, which I don't like how they put it there, because it's kind of like, then it's just like, why didn't anyone come out after Chavo then? Because it's kind of like they should kind of have like a limit or some kind.
Yeah, but like think about that.
'Cause, I mean, eight would have been fine, but it's I don't like I just don't like the way they put that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But then Chavo would hit the frog splash. He'd pin Jimmy Wang Yang, and he would win the Cruiserweight Championship. 14 minutes and 11 seconds was the recorded time. 2 3/4 for both of us here. I thought it was decent. I thought it
was decent.
They made the most of it.
No, like Cruiserweight's made the most of it, but like just like the ending was just confusing. That's all.
I think the one positive thing also, I guess, maybe to say about this is it was nice to see, because of course it went like 14 minutes. I guess it was nice to see them like give the Cruiserweight some time.
Yeah.
Because that belt was really up and down. I thought in like 2003 it had its moments, where it was like actually like a legit like title. Then like 2004 and it's like it was just like up and down.
So like
it wasn't really featured that heavily.
You know another interesting fact about that title? After Chavo won it, technically the second to last person to hold that title.
Oh yeah. We both know who the last one ended up being until they'd bring it back in 2016, but that's a different title, I guess. And by different title, I guess it's actually not the previous champs of this Cruiserweight title are actually not recognized in the same title history as the ones now. So like the one they have now is like a brand new, like, or at the time was like a brand new title.
I guess they're just trying to because technically that original Cruiserweight title actually was WCW's.
Yeah, because they recognize that history too.
Yeah.
For this version of the Cruiserweight title.
So that's probably why, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though they changed the design, that Cruiserweight title still came from WCW.
Yeah. Yes, but because I remember they actually had the WCW like belt, like that version, like at one point in time. But of course, the Cruiserweight title nowadays is known as the NXT Cruiserweight title, and it's pretty good now.
Yeah, they got it
going now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it right, I think. But yeah, so decent match. 2 3/4 from the both of us. Chavo, new champ. Next, we'd have an interview with Crystal, and this would be one half of the World Tag Team Champions and the current WWE Champion at the time, John Cena. And basically, just to go through this, Crystal would ask Cena if he was concerned about the match later that night. Then he would say he's not, but and he would say they'd be able to work together, him and Shawn, in order to win, I guess.
I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, another tag team champions thing or tag team champs that don't get along, that kind of deal. But then now here we'd have the tag team match that we were referring to earlier, one of them, which would be Finley and Little Bastard versus the Boogeyman and the Little Boogeyman. I don't really know where to go with this or how to go about it. Quick JNC fact is this is actually the first Boogeyman match we've ever discussed on this program.
Yes. Yes, it is, now that I realize.
Don't think it's the first time we've ever mentioned Boogeyman.
But, like, this is the first time we've mentioned...
Yeah, it's
like,
the first time we've done a Boogeyman match.
Yeah.
So, there was a moment in this match where Little Boogeyman and Hornswoggle would have a little, I guess, confrontation. They'd look like they're about to go at one another, about to fight, and then Finley would deliver a boot to the side of the face to Little Boogie.
Yeah, I was like, damn, son. Like...
And then Will Boogie would also... but then Will Boogie would also get Finley into a small package, no pun intended, and get a 2 count out of it.
Which I did mention that.
And then Finley afterwards would proceed to beat him up for like the next minute or so while the Boogeyman is just doing nothing about it at all. He's just out there.
Down a snack.
Yeah, he's just chowing down on some worms, just watching. And then in the end, I guess Hornswoggle would run off through the crowd as he was scared of the Boogeyman. And then while the official and Boogie, kind of funny, but I guess I don't know. It was terrible. Then we'd have an interview with Crystal and the other half of the World Tag Team Champions, Shawn Michaels, saying that he doesn't trust Cena, and the only other man that he trusts is Triple H, but he'd have his back because he needs him to make it to WrestleMania.
That is ironic that he says the only person he trusts is Triple H.
The next we have a singles match between King Booker with Queen Sharmell and Kane.
This match was slow.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's a Kane match.
Well, yeah, but I know what you're saying though.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like the 2 heavyweights and.
No, but like and so you would probably think, Booker T maybe would just speed up. I'm not talking about speed it up, but like a little more tempo. I didn't feel like it was there.
Nah, it wasn't. But this feud began back at the Royal Rumble during the Rumble match itself, when Kane would eliminate Booker from the match, and then Booker, out of frustration and anger, would re-enter despite being eliminated, and he'd eliminate Kane to get his revenge, I guess. Kane would start this one off aggressively. He'd be in control early on. Booker would turn things around with a low blow, of course, missed by referee Charles Robinson.
I even missed that. What was that?
No, that's how he got back into the match.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, but this is. But Booker would try to break him down with some punches, some chops, strikes. Kane would look for a chokeslam. Booker would get out of it with a kick to the gut. Both men would do the clothesline spot where they both go down. They actually looked like that may have been like a botch, kind of.
Yeah.
So then they were down for the 10 count, but they'd both make it back up. Then there would be a flying clothesline, one of Kane's famous moves, I guess you could say. Then in the end, Kane would hit the chokeslam, get the 1, 2, 3. He'd win the match. 12 minutes, 38 seconds. Passable match, but still not great nonetheless. 2 1/4 for me.
What do I give it, 2 and 3?
Yeah, he gave it 2 and 3. Might be a little high.
Oh, maybe.
A little high considering the Cruiserweight Classic was better than this.
I mean, I kind of was rated the same.
Yeah, but this is passable, but not really that good.
Yeah.
Next, there'd be another interview, this time with World Heavyweight Champion Batista. Crystal would ask Batista for his thoughts on the main event. Batista would say it's SmackDown versus Raw, and that SmackDown would beat up on Raw. But Crystal would point out that Undertaker had chokeslammed Batista when he picked him as his WrestleMania opponent. They'd show the footage of it. She'd ask him if he was intimidated, and of course he'd say he wasn't. Then we'd have the WWE Tag Team Championship match between Paul London and Brian Kendrick, the champs defending against Deuce and Domino with Cherry in their corner. As I alluded to earlier in the program, this was not the originally scheduled tag title match. Michael Cole would also point out that London and Kendrick had been enjoying a run as tag team champions since May of last year.
Yes.
Since 2006, May of 2006. JBL would mention that in recent times, this was of course referring to early 2007, then that Deuce and Domino had multiple victories over London and Kendrick, so you would think that they were due for a title shot.
Yeah.
Honestly, this should have been the originally booked match. The four-way ladder match is really a random idea, considering especially they already had done it.
Right.
I don't know how most people thought about them as a team, but I low-key actually like Deuce and Domino, personally. I thought the gimmick may have been a bit outdated, but even at this point, I mean, tag team wrestling wasn't really strong in this era. Hadn't been for years and years after, but I thought that they were like a solid team, and I just want to put that out there. I thought this was a pretty decent tag team match. They'd work for the hot tag with Paul London a bit, building suspense for when Kendrick would re-enter. For the finish, Deuce and Domino would look to hit a Doomsday device, shades of the Legion of Doom, of course. Then Domino would miss, and then Kendrick would roll up Deuce with the Sunset Flip and win the match. 8 minutes, 7 seconds. Paul and Brian Kendrick retain the tag team titles. Wouldn't see Deuce and Domino win here, but later down the road, they would actually win the tag titles from London and Kendrick.
Yes, they would. And I believe that was their only reign.
Yeah, it was their only
and I
reign.
believe they ended up lost it to MVP and Matt Hardy.
They did, yeah. 2 3/4 for me. Thought it was a decent match.
I gave it 2.
Mm-hmm. So I liked it a bit better.
For me, London didn't get that hot tag, but then I felt like basically that match was basically they just beat the shit out of London.
Mm-hmm.
They tag in Kendrick, and then they did that spot, and then it was over. That's how it felt for me.
It did end kind of abruptly, but I think they
probably kind of had to.
Yeah, because they can only give time to so much stuff.
Yeah.
Then next we'd have another interview. Good God, this is the 5th one of the night. Why I don't know, but a lot of interviews in the show.
Yeah.
This time it's with the challenger for the ECW World Title. Yes, a SmackDown guy gunning for the title, Mr. Kennedy. So yeah, we'd have this. We'd have this ECW World Championship match.
How did he even get that title? There was no backstory on that.
Yeah, they didn't explain it. There was this ECW World Championship match. Bobby Lashley defending against Mr. Kennedy. Another thing to point out is, of course, before they show a video package of Bobby Lashley, but before Michael Cole would say, they'd roll this footage, Michael Cole would say, we know a lot about Mr. Kennedy, but we don't know a lot about Bobby Lashley, which is really strange considering he spent the first year on the main roster on the SmackDown brand, which...
I'm glad you pointed it out, because I was going to point that out.
Yeah, which that made no sense.
And they act like they've never known it.
They act like they never watched the guy before. So that was kind of...
But then they would mention that, he beat JBL for the U.S. title.
Yeah, they mentioned the fact he was on SmackDown, and they don't know anything about him. So, Yeah, so... so Michael Cole, over the course of the evening, continuing at this point, is just losing his voice. JBL had mentioned that Kennedy had defeated 7 former world champions. Although, for me, this match, from on paper, it doesn't sound really appealing, but for me, it was actually better than I was expecting at first. But the finish was kind of what ruined it for me a bit. What dropped it down in some ratings, because I actually was going to rate it way higher than I did.
Yeah.
They obviously didn't want Lashley to drop the title to Kennedy, but to me, if that's the case, why even do it in the first place?
Yeah, but I know it's ECW title and they really don't care, but think about it. At that point, it's one of your world champions.
That's what they wanted it to be.
and yet back-to-back matches, it either ended in a really stupid count-out
Yeah.
or
That is, of course, going into the Roman